I'm really excited to be here today. You know, at TaskRabbit, we believe in taking credit for our achievements. We founded the sharing economy and pioneered this industry 8 years ago when we were founded in 2008, and I'm really proud of what we just talked about in terms of how the industry has evolved. Today, I want to talk to you about how we'll take our legacy forward and redesign the future of the sharing economy, which we believe is the future of work. Our mission at TaskRabbit is to revolutionize everyday work. We are creating everyday work for everyday people. We are giving countless families time back in their lives by being the life support that they need to get things done every day so that they can focus on the things that matter the most to them. And we have built a sustainable business that is a huge economic opportunity for all of us. I want to talk about each of these things in more detail, but first, just a little bit more about me that you probably won't read on my bio, on my LinkedIn page, or not even in my Snapchat room. My mother was a single mother. She actually quit her job and her passion of pursuing a degree in nursing to take care of my brother and I. And it was hard. She had to work a full-time job, and she had almost no flexibility. We made enough money to pay the bills, so we got by, but it wasn't a lot to do anything more. In fact, my tuition at Penn was the same as her annual salary. But more importantly, she really didn't have a lot of time to do anything for us that was extra. Particularly, she couldn't take time off work when we were sick, and God forbid we got in trouble at school, which happened. She actually didn't have time to take time off to come and see about us. And she really didn't have time to finish her degree, so she never went back to school. This is Afara. Afara is a 30-year-old single mom. Now, Afara has done 105 tasks on TaskRabbit with 100% performance rating. Afara actually tasked for a whole year so that she could spend time pursuing her passion, which was to become a firefighter. Tasking on TaskRabbit gave her the flexibility that she needed to not just take care of her family, but also pursue the thing that she really loved to do. And you know what? Afara was able to deal with the emergencies that come along with being a parent, and those of you who are parents in the room know what I'm talking about. Because of TaskRabbit, Afara was able to schedule her clients at the times that worked for her. She was actually able to set her own hourly rate based on her abilities, and she was able to do work that she really enjoys while she was pursuing her passions. You know, I wish TaskRabbit existed when my mom was younger, because perhaps she could have become a tasker and still finished nursing school. But it didn't. But it exists today. You know, Afara just recently relocated to Los Angeles to become a full-time firefighter, so she's not tasking anymore. But we're so very proud of her. We're going to miss her and her tasking abilities, but we can't be so proud of her accomplishments. You know, this is what we call everyday work for everyday people. We have over 50,000 registered taskers in our community just like Afara. 60% are millennial, and they're making a lot of money. The average hourly rate on TaskRabbit is $35 an hour, which is 5 times the federal minimum wage. Many of our taskers are earning up to $14,000 a month or $150,000 a year, and that's amazing. You know, 50% of people who are working see volatility in their income every month of up to 30%. Those are huge swings. And these are regular, or what in the US we call W-2 jobs. So perhaps the conventional jobs aren't really working in the way that we intended. Freedom from the traditional work schedule is something that our taskers have actually asked for. In fact, we are seeing a fundamental shift in the way that people want to work. When we pioneered the sharing economy, we really didn't think about what's happening today, which is that we've now become a place where people can earn a livable wage. We've become a place that really is a social safety net. And the exciting thing about that is our taskers are empowered. We've empowered a community of people to choose how they want to work, the way they want to work, and do everyday work. And we can do that across a broad section of income groups, across a broad section of ethnicities, and we're creating a socially good option for work. But the scale of what we're doing is not just about the quantity or the 50,000 taskers that we have, it's also about the quality. So let's talk about quality. We have the strongest, highest quality supply base in the industry. Flexibility, availability of work, and livable wages means that we have low churn. Ours is only 10%. You know what that means? That means our best performers and our best taskers stay in the marketplace. 15,000 people show up at our site every month to become a tasker. But the process to become one is rigorous. Only 15% of them make it through. And we manage their performance in real time. And you can see a picture here of the app that we use to manage it. All of our taskers are 100% mobile. They can see their performance all the time. They can see how they're doing, and they can see how much money they make at any point in time. You know, with 8 years of experience building a marketplace, we believe that the reason why we will continue to succeed is because of quality. It's no longer enough to build a slick app based on cutting-edge technology. And all the money in the world spent on marketing will not build a sustainable business for us unless our clients have a great experience with the taskers who show up at their house every single time, period. So who are our clients? Let's talk a little bit about them and why they need TaskRabbit for life support. You know, every morning I get up and think about all of the things that I need to get accomplished. My husband's here in the back of the room, so he could actually attest to that. And every night I go to bed, not always mad at him for not getting some of those things done, but actually frustrated with myself that they didn't all happen. And I know I'm not alone. This is your average family. The statistic, I think, is 1.9 kids, but obviously there are 3 children in this picture. You know, this family will spend about a month on things like laundry and organizing things around their house. They spend hours a week cleaning, fixing things that are more efficiently done by someone else. And they'll spend $140,000 in their lifetime on chores. They look happy. I'm smiling. I look happy. I'm up here. I look happy. But the reality is most families are like ducks swimming in a pond, paddling really, really hard just to stay afloat. There's just not enough hours in the day or days in the week. You know, I remember my mom used to fall asleep helping me and my brother with our homework every night. She was just tired. And I believe that every parent deserves the right to read to their children at night. TaskRabbit should be an affordable way for families like this to take things off their plate, particularly the tasks that matter the most, that are harder for them, so that they can focus on the things that matter the most and give them more time. We are the everyday brand for on-demand services. Our vision is to help you be your most productive self. And that's no matter the size or makeup of your family. We're the one place to go to get all your chores done, whether it's cleaning, a handyman, moving, or you need something delivered. In 3 taps, post a task on TaskRabbit, and help is on the way. You know, if hearing this sounds like music to your ears or magic, it is. We call it living your aspirational life. You know, we've given life support to hundreds of thousands of clients every year on TaskRabbit. And we're just starting to realize the scale of what we're doing. Let's talk about some of the numbers, the bigger numbers. 35,000 hours, spent running errands all over town. But this is not groceries or food from restaurants. We like to think of these as P2P deliveries. So birthday gifts, holiday gifts, flowers, things that are personalized that probably require you to stop at multiple locations or do something special. So these are complex deliveries. 4 million stairs climbed while moving furniture into new homes, like those nasty walk-ups. I used to live in one when I lived in Brooklyn, 4 flights up. Thought it was a good idea when we moved in, but it was far, 4 long flights. Shifting furniture from room to room, the small moves that happen every day. Most people move within a mile of where they actually live. These are the moves that we're doing. 6,500 miles swept cleaning homes. For those of the runners out there, that's 248 marathons. I don't know how many you're counting, but that's a lot of miles and a lot of marathons. But this is a category that we're the most excited about. It's our fastest growing, and it's our biggest opportunity. And lastly, 2,600 hours assembling IKEA furniture. This is dressers, shelves, cribs, you name it. Our taskers are really good at those little tiny screws and tiny tools. You know, I had a good experience with tiny screws and tiny tools, particularly with IKEA furniture when I had my second child. We had decided to change the nursery and put my older daughter into a new room. And so I was buying all these things, and the boxes of IKEA furniture that needed to get filled was sort of filling up. And I was sitting there looking, I was 7 months pregnant, like, who's gonna do all this? We already had a kid, husband was trying. So I hired a tasker who happened to be a retired military veteran. And he showed up, and within a few hours, like, the boxes were gone, the furniture was assembled, the rooms were beautiful, and you know what? He took all the boxes away and even took some items to donate to charity so that we could create more space for our family. Couldn't have done it without him. So the scale of what we're doing is big, but it's also very personal and meaningful, and it's happening at a big event in our clients' lives and for people like me. You know, at this level of scale, the opportunity that's ahead of us is massive. The sharing economy was not even a word in 2008. Now it's a $110 billion industry. Home services as a category, the things that you need to get done around your home, is $400 billion. And there's statistics out there that show that the sharing economy will be as big as $335 billion, so almost as big as home services by the year 2025. The only way we can realize the opportunity ahead of us is by matching high-quality taskers with clients who need more done every day. This is economy resizing, policy changing, and labor defining. But there are some other trends at play here that are going to matter for the future of work as well. The first is that your home screen is getting tiny. Now, this is not a picture of a home screen. It's actually a home. In fact, it's a tiny home. Last week, we actually hired 10 taskers, and we challenged them to build a tiny house in just 3 days. So in 72 hours, these taskers built a home, fully functional. We put them up to this challenge, and they did it. This house is 238 square feet, complete with all electrical, plumbing, full kitchen, and shower. And we decided to auction this house off on eBay to someone who was willing to donate money to charity. And it sold on Sunday for just under $27,000. And we're happy that the proceeds will go to benefit a charity that's focused on eliminating homelessness. But the exciting thing is about not how we built this thing in the middle of Chelsea. If any of you have been to New York, know Chelsea's a bustling area for all the public to see. But we're proud of the spirit of our taskers who really wanted to do something meaningful. So you might not see yet the correlation between building a tiny house and TaskRabbit and what that has to do with your home screen. But let's think about the past 5 years. The number of apps on your cell phone has proliferated. And you may have a whole lot of them, but you're probably not using all of them as much as you want to, or it's quite possibly just too many of them on there. There's just an app for everything. From our leadership position, we believe that the next chapter in technology will be that consumers will want to rely on fewer brands and build deeper relationships with those brands that they trust. We call this app consolidation, or, tiny screens. Your space on your home screen is fixed, and the number of apps that you rely on will actually continue to get smaller. Consumers' time is valuable, and they want convenience, quality, and speed. So, along with home screens getting more tiny, what else is going on? What do consumers want? The second trend is just around real-time services. People want things right now. They don't want to wait for it. On March 1st, we launched, there we go, now you can see it. On March 1st, we launched a new experience that we internally call it TaskRabbit Rocket. People who use TaskRabbit, we always look at what our consumers are doing. And what we saw was that friction was still an issue. And anyone who's an app developer focusing on consumers always thinking about how do we eliminate and reduce the friction in the experience on mobile. And the friction that was there was really around scheduling. A lot of things can happen between today and the weekend. So we asked our consumers, well, maybe if we actually made these tasks available for you now, and you can get it done now, you might actually try to do it now. So we redesigned the app and built an app that was real time. Here's what we found. More than half our clients, 60%, book tasks on demand. So in 5 minutes, your task is assigned. That's essentially instant. And in 90 minutes, most of the time, it's done. Today, done. Fast, easy, and mobile first. So it's no surprise to you that, well, if I don't have to wait 2 hours to get something delivered and I can get something done, delivered in 90 minutes or 30 minutes, I'll sign up for that. So deliveries, yes, of course, that category exploded. But what was interesting is that cleaning took off. It is now our fastest growing category. People go into the app and say, if I can look around my house and decide I want this place cleaned, and in 5 minutes, I can know somebody's coming, and in 90 minutes, that job is done, they say yes to that every single time. This is the next step in mobile adoption. When we deliver high-quality experience, fast, real-time, with the speed that our clients want, engagement goes up on both sides of the marketplace. In the last 12 months, the number of clients who've converted to users on our platform has more than doubled. And in the last 12 months, likewise, the number of active taskers who are finding meaningful work on TaskRabbit has also more than doubled. Let me tell you the story about Brian. So it was a Saturday. Brian's a 53-year-old dad, divorced father of 2. He's a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old. Everything was fine till the kids started feeling miserable. In fact, his daughter had a fever and a cold. And you know what? Not surprisingly, as many parents, we often are out of medicine when we actually need them or it's expired. Well, now what does Brian do? He tried to bundle the kids up and go out to the store and let's go get some medicine. But they resisted to that. So he took out his phone and typed in a plea, which was, I'll read it, is anyone around? Because I need this now. And that was at 3:55 p.m. A tasker showed up at his house with children's Tylenol at 4:28 p.m. That's 33 minutes. Problem solved. So this is just one example of how people like Brian are getting things done on TaskRabbit. And it really proves that the engagement in our marketplace is working because of the quality and the speed. But the data over the last 18 months also shows this as well. 2015 was our best year ever. We quadrupled the growth of the business. Our mobile volume grew 3x, and our Net Promoter Score, NPS, which is the line on there, is actually the highest it's ever been. Now you see that dip, so it goes down in 2014. We pivoted our business model. We took a really big risk. We used to be this open auction where you could get anything done on TaskRabbit. And we actually decided to close it a little bit, focus on a few categories like home services, and make it a direct hire model so we could control the quality and the speed with which things get things done, and so people like Brian could get medicine delivered to their house in 30 minutes. But customers weren't happy. The people who had gotten to know TaskRabbit and fell in love with the brand and the experience didn't like it. So, change was not good. In fact, our Net Promoter Score went negative. But as they started to see the value of having a higher quality experience with the speed that people have now come to expect, our Net Promoter Score went back up. It's now the highest amongst our peers and on par with companies like Apple, which we all know and love. Before we made this change, it was about a 50% chance that you could get something done on TaskRabbit. That's essentially a coin toss. Today, it's an 80% chance. At 50%, we couldn't invest in marketing. The funnel was too leaky. People were having a negative experience. They didn't want to talk about us. But at 80%, clients are happy, and they're going around and they're telling all their friends that they need to use TaskRabbit. And our taskers have an 80% chance of finding meaningful work on TaskRabbit, so they stay. What's happened is we've created this viral loop that's driving significant growth for the company. Organic growth is working. Paid acquisition is working. So 2015 we quadrupled the business in 2015 because we first focused on finding the best, highest quality available supply, and then invested in growing demand in a capital-efficient way. And we haven't looked back since. In fact, New York is a profitable market for us, and we'll be profitable as a company by the end of this year. So the next step for us is ubiquity. TaskRabbit should exist everywhere. We're currently in 19 cities, including London. But I've never been anywhere in the world, including Amsterdam, where TaskRabbit shouldn't exist, and we're on our way. So at the end of the day, is this really about mounting shelves and cleaning homes? My philosophy as CEO is that you accomplish what you measure. Countless families are time-starved. Millions of workers need supplemental income. Yet the measure that matters the most to me will be the freedom that families find from using TaskRabbit to get the everyday help that they need. I'm really proud of this company. I'm really proud of what we've accomplished. And I'm really proud of the opportunity that we have to revolutionize everyday work and make an impact on the world. I hope that my experience at Google has taught me about scale as the company grew from 1,000 to 40,000 employees. I hope that my experience being on the board of HP as we transform an iconic brand helps me think about reinventing the new as we reshape the sharing economy. And I believe that as pioneers of the sharing economy, we can take our legacy and capitalize on the huge opportunity that's ahead of us by creating everyday work for people like Afara and the middle class, and giving countless families the life support that they need to thrive. Thank you.